Here is the new transmitter recorder from Deity.
Cinema 5D at IBC 2019 is brought to you by B&H, the professional source for all your video needs. CVP, the leading specialist in creative cine, video and photo solutions. MusicVine, beautifully produced music for film and video. Manfrotto, imagine more. And Fujinon, ultimate optical performance.
Hi, I'm Johnny from Cinema 5D, and I'm here with Andrew from Deity. How are you?
How are you? I mean, I'm having a great time. This is a great show, and it's one of my
favorite.
Just
the first day, just already a great show.
It's been a great show, just the first day. We've had a lot of great people stop by. I met a lot of wonderful people in the setup, in the process of flying in, and I love IBC.
This is an optimistic man, but maybe he has a good reason, because Deity is showing for the first time what looks like like a transmitter.
Yeah.
But actually, what is the extra here?
So what we've actually built into this is it looks like a plug-on transmitter that every brand makes. You know, you got an XLR microphone, you want to transmit. This is what you normally would buy. And what we said was, let's go above and beyond. Let's add a lavalier input to this unit. Cool, and that didn't fill up the whole unit. We still had space on the circuit board. We said, okay, let's add a recorder. So we added a micro SD recorder into the unit, and then we actually added an internal lithium battery that's 2600 milliamps.
And I have to say, the whole thing is quite lightweight. So what we have here is a transmitter with, let's say, a backup recorder.
Yeah, and if you actually need a primary recorder, it could be your primary recorder if you're doing something like radio out there, or some kind of situation in which you can't use wireless microphone, like a national sports tournament where they've restricted wireless to only certain news divisions, and you show up at the last minute and they're like, oh, we're out of frequencies. Well, if that's the case, you can't just say to your producer, oh, we can't get audio today. You now have a recorder, you could plug it into a handheld, still do interviews without having to worry about stepping on someone else's frequencies in a situation like that.
One thing that I really like about it is connectivity.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has the professional XLR,
Yep.
but you can also choose mini plug, like 3.5.
Yeah. So it's actually got a mono 3.5 millimeter locking jack, but also it acts as a stereo line input. This is a stereo transmitter.
Very nice. So, do I have to choose in the menu what I'm actually outputting, or it's seamless, it's automatically?
So what you do is when you plug it in, here on your home screen, you'll actually see it says XLR has been selected, or TRS. As soon as you select XLR, the first thing it wants you to do is go, do you want Phantom or not? So it automatically presents you with that option as soon as you choose XLR, so you don't accidentally forget. And then you sit there and fiddle like, why am I not getting VU meters? We want to make it this as seamless as possible. As soon as you start working with the menu, it just flows and makes sense to the user. On top of all that, as soon as you hit record, it just automatically knows, based on what you already selected for your transmission, that's also the signal you want to record. So we really try to make it as simple as possible for the user.
You're talking about the phantom power.
Yes.
When I use the phantom power, battery-wise, am I consuming much more, or it will?
No, the internal lithium battery, like I said, is 2600 milliamps. If I was at 50 milliwatts, which is half the power, but 50 milliwatts for a boom is still a lot, or a reporter microphone like we're doing now, you could definitely get away with 10 milliwatts. But at 50 milliwatts, with phantom power and the recorder recording, still get 10 hours.
Mathematics. Okay. When it comes to, let's call it audio resolution, what am I actually recording?
So what you're recording is a raw audio signal coming directly from this microphone, 24-bit, 48 kilohertz, PZM wave. I mean, it's lossless audio. And that's with an analog preamplifier, with an analog limiter. So in case you are getting very, very loud, the analog limiter will start to cut off the audio at 5.5 decibels. So you're not going to sit there and clip.
Can you record simultaneously to two channels and protect yourself?
Well, the analog limiter is there to protect yourself, so you actually don't need the dual channel.
Okay, but you know how it is sometimes. I thought that like with some of the other devices, you can actually record dual channels. One is a bit higher, the other one is a bit lower. And I've seen already with some limiters that it's not 100% working. I hope here it's working well enough. But in that case, it's not really possible with that device.
Yeah, so a lot of devices out there actually don't have analog limiters, though. They have the digital limiter, so after you've already clipped your A to D converter, yeah, that limiter is not going to do all that much. That's why we put the limiter in front of the A to D converter, so that it doesn't actually kind of give you the need for that secondary audio track.
Clear. And with all the beauty of this, you still need the microphone. So you are also introducing a new microphone, which is...
This little guy right here.
Okay, actually, it's really, really lightweight.
Yeah.
This is the S-Mic 2S?
Yes, S-Mic 2S. It is fashioned after our flagship microphone, our S-Mic 2, which is the one that we used to launch the brand. A lot of people love that microphone, but a lot of people said it's too long for indoor use. And they also said it's too heavy at the end of the day. They wanted something that they could use all day for a long work day. So we said, cool, let's shave the weight. We'll get it down well below half, as well as make it only about 12 centimeters long.
And the audio characteristic is the same as the, let's call it, older brother?
Yeah, it's identical. In fact, it's the exact same capsule. Very, very similar circuitry on the inside. That way, if you have an S-Mic 2, that now becomes your outdoor microphone. You use this as your indoor microphone, and when you're cutting, say, a scene together, and someone's outside, and all of a sudden we're inside later in the film or later in the project, your audio guy in post doesn't need to actually do a lot of EQ work to make this microphone sound like this microphone. They just flow.
Okay, so I'm transmitting to what?
So you're transmitting to the Duo RX Deity Connect system. So this guy right here, which is a dual channel receiver.
And this is not new. I mean, we have to be very clear that that's already in the market, and you have been using it with other devices. Dual channel, just for, just elaborate a little bit for the audience. What is dual channel?
So a dual channel is a 2-channel receiver, which means 2 lavalier packs right now could go to the same receiver. And the end user could either select like XLR mode and go into something like this mix pre, or you could actually go DSLR mode and go into like your mirrorless cameras or DSLRs. What that means is you don't have to carry around all this rigging equipment of like, oh cool, I've got this single channel, and I've got another single channel, and then you got all of a sudden like 4 batteries, you've got all this extra cable, you have Y splits. It can get to be a pain and a hassle. And we wanted to put it all internal in one unit.
So I can use 2 of those.
You could use 2 of these, you could use 2 of these, you could use 1 of each. You can combine any way you want.
Okay, that all makes sense. It's all very nice. And let's go to pricing and availability, and let's please start with the recorder transmitter.
So this guy's only going to come in at $249 US. The kit by itself,
he was laughing, not me. Yeah?
I'm laughing, yeah, because every time I tell people that, they're like, "Wait, that's it?" Yeah, $249. That's all we're going to charge. The kit right now is $669.
When you say kit, you're talking about which component?
The 2 lavalier packs and the dual body pack or body pack receiver.
Okay, but that's already in the market. I don't want to confuse the people. So
and then
this is $249.
This is $249 by itself, and if you want to get 1 transmitter and 1 transmitter recorder and the dual receiver, that's going to be $729. So it's only like a $60 increase over the current kit.
And the mic?
And the short microphone, that is going to be, I think it's, $319 US, coming out in about a month.
This one is in a month, and the recorder transmitter?
It's about a month and a half away.
Okay, Andrew.
It's a lot, I know.
It's a lot, but it's interesting. It's interesting because, obviously, as a documentary filmmaker, this type of equipment can help a lot, yeah. And very nice. I hope it will function well in the field, but hopefully we can test it soon. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, guys.